स्टडी IQ IAS, अब तैयारी हुई अफोर्डेबल।
Hello everyone and welcome to Study IQ English. I am Joycey Joy. In this video, we'll be discussing about types of market. Let's get started. These are the different types of markets: monopoly, oligopoly, perfect competition, oligopsony, monopsony, monopolistic competition, and natural monopoly. These are some of the different important types of market. So let's see what is a market or a market structure. The market structure comprises of different types of market. If you see, there are different types of market existing, and the structures are portrayed by the nature and the level of competition that exists for the goods and services in the market. So depending on the nature of the market and also the level of competition existing in the market for the goods and services, they can be classified as different types. The market structure is an expression that is resultant for the quality or the adequacy of the market competition that is winning in the market. Let's see each type of market. First, monopoly. A monopolistic market is a market formation with the qualities of a pure market. A pure monopoly can exist when one provider gives service or product to numerous consumers. So we can say that the nature of monopoly market is that there is only one seller and lot number of buyers. Now see, only one seller would be there and buyers will be many. There will be many buyers. Now see, since there is only one seller, the supply factor, there are two factors in a market: demand and supply. So here the supply factor would be controlled by this one single seller. Now demand is created from the side of buyers. Alright, so demand is created from buyers and supply from the seller. Since supply is restricted and demand is very high, the price maker or the price determiner is the seller. So seller will be the one who determines the price. Price is determined by the one seller existing in the market. Now there are many buyers in the market. In a monopolistic market, the imposing business organization or the controlling organization has the overall control of the entire market. So it sets the supply and price. That's what we said. They determine the supply and also the price. Example: Indian Railway, Google, Microsoft, Facebook. All these are examples of monopoly. Next we are coming to oligopoly. Oligopoly is a market form with few firms, none of which can hold the others back from having a critical impact. So it is not just one firm, but there will be a few firms. The fixation or concentration proportion estimates the piece of market share of the biggest firms. Now there will be few firms but large number of buyers. See, here the entry and exit would be somewhat restricted, not fully but somewhat restricted. Entry and exit, and that's why there is only a few firms that can sell the commodities. Like for example, there could be some licensing provisions or something so that the entry could be restricted. Example: commercial air travel, auto industries, cable television, all these are examples. Next is a perfect competition, which is considered to be the ideal market structure. So perfect competition is a market where there are large number of buyers and large number of sellers. Large number of buyers and sellers. Perfect competition is an absolute sort of market form wherein all end consumers and producers have complete and balanced data and no exchange cost. That is, there are large number of buyers and large number of sellers. So nobody can have a monopoly or no seller can determine the price. The price is determined by the market based on the demand and supply conditions. So who determines price in a perfect competition? In a perfect competition, the price is determined by the market, and this is based on the factors of demand and supply. Based on demand and supply. there is an enormous number of makers and consumers rivaling each other in this sort of environment. So there are lot of sellers and buyers. For example, agricultural products like carrot, potato and various grain products, the securities market, foreign exchange market, online shopping websites, all these are examples of perfect competition where there are large number of buyers and large number of sellers. Next is a monopolistic competition, which is different from monopoly, an industry where many firms offer their services and products that are comparative. That is, even though there are substitutes, there are no close substitutes. That is, they sell differentiated products. Monopolistic competition is a market where there are large number of sellers who sell differentiated products with some different identity. So sellers are in large in number, but even though there are large number of sellers, they sell differentiated products. Obstructions or barriers to exit and entry in monopolistic competitive industries are low, and the choices made of any firm don't explicitly influence those of its rivals. See, they are not rivals. Why? Because each seller sells differentiated products, or there is some kind of identity for each product. That is, no products are close substitutes. Even though they are substitutes, not close substitutes. The monopolistic competition is firmly identified with the business technique of brand separation and differentiation. That's what we said. See, this competition of monopolistic, it is identified by the features of differentiation and brand separation. That is, the pricing is based on the brand and also based on differentiation. For example, hairdressers, restaurant business, hotel, pub, all these, even though there are so many hotels, so many restaurants, each restaurant would be having their own identity. Each one would be selling some differentiated product. In some restaurants, there would be very good pulao. In some restaurants, they would be very good for Arabic food. So they have their own signature, their own identity, and that makes them different. Even though the same commodity food can be available anywhere and there are large number of sellers, each seller sells differentiated product. They have their own brand name, and this brand name will help them to determine the price for their product. Next is monopsony. It's a market situation wherein just a single purchaser, the monopsonist. In case of monopoly, there is only one seller, but in case of monopsony, there would be only one buyer. Just like a monopoly, monopsony additionally has an imperfect market condition. So monopoly and monopsony, both these are imperfect market conditions. Why? A market becomes ideal or perfect only when there is a perfect competition. Perfection can be attained only in a perfect competition. The contrast between a monopsony and a monopoly is basically in the distinction between controlling business elements. A solitary purchaser overwhelms a monopolistic market, while a singular dealer controls a monopolized market. See, the difference is that in case of monopoly, there is only one seller, single seller, and in case of monopsony, there is only one buyer or single buyer. Monopsonies are normal to regions where they supply most of the locals' positions in the regional jobs. For example, a company that collects entire labor of a town, like a sugar factory that recruits laborers from the entire town to extract sugar from sugarcane. This is one example of monopsony. So here you see there is only one single buyer here. So this buyer, in this example, there is a buyer, a company is the buyer here, and the company purchases the entire labor from the town. Next is oligopoly. It's a natural monopoly is a kind of monopoly that can exist normally because of greater startup cost or incredible economies of scale of directing a business. So here see, it's not because of restrictions that the monopoly have emerged. It is because of the natural factors, like the cost of establishing a firm would be very high, or the economies of scale would be very high. So because of the natural factors, there have been a monopoly, and that is what we call as a natural monopoly. An organization with a natural monopoly may be the main supplier of a service or a product in an industry or a geographical area. They can emerge in businesses that require latest technology, raw material, or similar factors of work. This is because of natural reasons. Maybe the raw material are not available to everyone, or maybe that it needs a latest technology which is available only with one firm. This is because of the natural factor this firm has become the monopoly. Example, utility service industry is a natural monopoly. It consists of supplying water, electricity, sewer services, distribution of energy to towns and cities across the country. So these are the examples of oligopoly. So these are the different types of market. I hope this was a useful one for you. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you all the very best.
स्टडी IQ IAS अब तैयारी हुई अफोर्डेबल।